Hi, everybody. Now, see, I'm on a hotspot. It still shows low bars. Just drives me crazy.
Oh, no. Okay.
I swear I think it's StreamYard because I can do Zoom, I can do things. I don't ever have a problem. But anyway,
Oh,
no.
the internet.
Anyway, hi, Bora Bora. And we'll see who else coming in. Well, at the moment, we don't have anybody. I think somebody, let's see who,
That's
somebody
okay.
just
They'll
came.
wander. I
Yeah.
posted. I posted. Come on, people.
Let's
Hey,
see.
Teresa. How you doing? Hi, Hypnicity.
Lisa, hi,
Hello.
Hypnicity. Oh, hi, Karen Doyle. There's everybody.
Yeah. Coming in.
Woo!
Just took a
How's
little.
everybody doing? Um, Today, hi, Sal.
Well,
Debbie and I, well, Debbie, not I, but I was thinking about, since we're in this end of the year, going into winter, even though the winter solstice hasn't started, and the holidays are here, that we would just, well, first of all, ask you how you all are doing and what would you like for Debbie to look into. Um, it's just this time of year that I thought Debbie could bring in some nice energy. And she did release a video, the two last night or one, two
one.
that
Uh,
are that are
yeah.
one that's playing he, you explain it, Debbie. I can't explain.
The video that I released last night, I did a poll on my community tab. And what I did from that was I actually have two silent tracks that are incorporated for that in the Stop the Stress Holidays soundtrack that I created. It's not a very long video, but all you need to do is put it on very, very low, because the energy on that is quantum. So it doesn't have to be at a it doesn't have to be at a high volume in order to be able to hear it or to
Nice.
have energy that's built into it work. The main reason that I did those is it's got two different tracks that are running silently on there, two different energy things. One of them is to help bring families and the whole home itself into harmony. And the other one is it's also embedded in there because, as I was laughing backstage with Valerie, this is the holiday season. This is Thanksgiving. So, we may be eating and drinking challenging food, a little more inflammation. And so the other one that's built in there is a universal meridian clearing and balancing for everybody. So as you overindulge and indulge this holiday season, you can play that in the background. And what's going to happen is that will help to balance not only emotionally, but that's also going to help for things like indigestion. So if you're really, really, really wanting to go for it with your foods or beverages, this will help you to at least counter that as much as we possibly can.
I
That's what
love it. But I love it. I love it because I mean let's face it. I've been doing really good on my
a little.
changes. Huh?
So we're
What's
all
that?
going to indulge just a little bit here.
Right? And even though we've been doing good on our changes, Debbie was saying how hard she's been working. I know how hard I've been working, but it just how do you pass up pie? I don't know. I do have to tell you, I bought this I forget what it's called now. It's some sort of whip. It's not a Cool Whip. It's this one that says no GMOs and all this stuff. Read the label. It's all it is freaking chemicals and nasty shit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, and it tastes so gross. I'm like, who the? So yeah, I'm not done with that company yet, but
Well, some of it too is you can always take your ideas and then of course tailor your food to what is supportive for your body,
that's what I
but maybe
do usually.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
my fault for just reading the top. It said no G. It has all this really cool, the marketing. And I usually read all the labels while I'm standing there, but I was in a hurry the other day, so I just grabbed it. And yeah, I'm like, no, I'm gonna make my own whipped cream. I'm not
That
eating
makes
this
more
crap.
sense. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing
But
what you can do with just some heavy whipping cream and a little bit of cream of tartar.
Right, right. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and I mean, that is the original way. I remember my grandma, she used to always bake everything. She was the baker. I'm not a baker. I'm going to try to bake pies today, and I don't know what's going to be the outcome, but I can cook. I love to cook, but I am not a baker. So I'm going to try the baking today, and I have a cranberry recipe I'm going to do. So I have to prep for that stuff, but I I didn't realize until I got home, like, 'cause I don't have a car all the time. So I tried that whipped cream I bought, and I'm like, oh, well, that's just disgusting. That's not. But I don't have any heavy whipping cream, so I need to get some of that sometime before tomorrow.
That's whenever you
But
start thinking about all the people that you can just bob that off onto. Oh yeah, they're young.
that was,
They won't know.
it was so gross. I'm telling you. Oh my gosh. And
Give it to a teenage boy. They'll eat
I
anything.
don't have any of those around me. I mean, I'm afraid I would feel bad giving somebody that many chemicals. I mean, the chemicals were just this huge paragraph in the back, and you're like, what the f?
Yeah,
Anyway,
really, that's not food. That's leftovers
awesome.
from some chemical industrial thing.
Sal's cooking right now. She's listening in, but she's
She's a
cooking. Good for
cooking.
you,
Yeah,
Sal.
she's a cooking.
Where is she? I hit the wrong one. Sorry. Oh, yeah, Karen Doyle, not me, just plain bad, sad about it, whatever. I got over it. Oh, hun. Yeah, I'm pretty plain. I'm pretty plain, but
Yeah, that's just it. I am.
I'm real picky too because I don't like all the chemicals in my food. I don't. I want to know where my food comes from, and ah, Karen, you're
There
so
you go.
sweet. They
Opted
some
out the first time
She
ever.
saw your video yesterday. Ah,
Yay!
got my
Not doing holiday
got her
food.
what? Got my
You know, I've had holidays like that too, and I've had people ask me because they're like, "Well, Thanksgiving, what are you guys doing?" Now, I do live on the Oregon coast, and quite a while back, whenever we moved here again, we switched to what was local, and so for Thanksgiving, for well over a decade now, the Thanksgiving out here has been whatever's fresh from the ocean. So, like this year, we're doing clam chowder that's been homemade. Hubby's also done a seafood that is done with Dungeness crab and local shrimp from the Oregon coast, and
oh
it's made
yeah.
with Tillamook Swiss cheese. So we've got the creamery from here locally. I mean, it's all local food, and that's just it. I mean, whenever we were back east or in the Midwest, we would tailor it to whatever was local fresh there. One year we had it because we were in Turkeyville. So we had, of course, the traditional turkey and cranberry and, the usual fare. And then other places that we've been have been, yeah, steak has been what we've gone for. Other years it's been primarily squash. So the main focus, as I was saying with Valerie backstage, is if you follow like the pagan or the druid New Year, then your New Year started. That would have been Happy New Year on Halloween, so October 31st.
And
And
Scorpio season. Yeah.
Scorpio season, yeah, and so it speaks to harvest festivals for anybody that's in the northern hemisphere. So we've just completed bringing in any of the bounty, and so any of the Thanksgiving harvests or harvest festivals, they're just simply a reflection of that. You don't have to
Hmm.
go with whatever has been tradition since the 1930s, unless that's something that's been tradition in your family and you want to continue that.
Yeah, we usually don't. My kids and I, we opted out. We'll do Yule. We'll do the solstices, equinoxes, Halloween, of course. I never celebrated Valentine's Day. No, that's not, like things
I
I
thought
do.
that was a
So
little weird, but
yeah, that I
no.
was just
And
never.
Valentine's also speaks to Imbolc, which is another one of the pagan
That,
holidays, the Druid
that's
holidays.
yeah, it's one of the cross quarters, right? So
Right,
it
right.
depends on how you're gonna look at
It
things.
depends on
And
which, yeah, it
I
depends on which
got
calendar system you're following. Sure.
and the same with the food, like hypnicity. I've opted out quite a few times. I don't even like.
Yeah,
I
some
mean,
years,
who
and
doesn't
that's,
like mashed potatoes,
give yourself
right?
permission. If this is an off year for you, give yourself permission to opt out. You're an adult. You can certainly pick which years you feel like sitting out and which you don't. You can certainly pick what you want to eat for yours to focus on. Yeah, it's like mine. I mean, we've got lemon meringue pie for our Thanksgiving instead of doing the traditional pumpkin pie, which is probably a little sacrilegious, but the lemon meringue goes with the seafood. So
Yeah, yeah, that sounds delicious. That menu sounds delicious. Teresa's not doing the holidays either, and yes, ethnicity, organic, anything is pricey, and I'm always, I couldn't believe how much my groceries were the other day, and it just keeps going up. I
mhm.
don't understand it, but anyway, and I
Well,
keep getting less,
the,
so, so it's like okay, here we are. But I live with my youngest son, and we eat real clean, real healthy. We don't eat any
Mhm.
junk. I don't make any use any processed anything
Well,
if I
the
can.
nice thing too is if you're eating organic, you can have the organic. It's just you shrink your portion size. But the thing on that is because it's organic, a lot of times it's more filling because you don't have those fake fillers that are causing you to have a bigger appetite.
Yum, Bora Bora sounds so yummy. I like the pumpkin pie. I was always one
Oh
of
yeah,
those pumpkin pie
huge
people.
pumpkin
I
pie,
eat that for
round.
breakfast. That's how I used to live anyway. I
Yeah.
don't
Drowned,
anymore.
drowned in whipped cream, of course. Pumpkin pie drowned in whipped cream. Tillamook cheese is awesome.
Yeah,
Woohoo!
yeah,
We love Tillamook.
yeah,
Any of the Tillamook, and yeah, their
yeah.
ice cream is just off the charts good. Umpqua is another one of our dairies that's located on the Oregon coast, and they have amazing flavored ice creams as well. They're such a cute dairy.
See,
They're down in Bandon, Oregon, so further down south.
I wasn't crazy about Tillamook because I read all their ingredients in the ice cream aisle one day, and I'm like, man, nobody has a good ice cream. Like it's all crap, you know. And if anyway, I'm not gonna
I
go
like
there.
the
Hi,
Tillamook simply
guys.
because our cows, like I said, they're right here, and I get to see them. So I know the cows that make the ice cream,
Bora
which is fun.
Bora, a plant-based and tofu turkey. See, you're brave. I can't. No, I can't eat the fake meat. I don't know what you call it. I'm so picky. It's awful. You guys would be like, "What is wrong with you?" I don't even know how. If I could just eat noodles, but now I got a thing against noodles because nobody makes noodles without putting a lot of chemicals in noodles. You're just like
Mm.
everything has got chemicals in it.
Although the
Yeah.
guy that made the ramen noodles after World War II, that was crazy. He just passed away in his late 90s. He was the one that invented the ramen noodles so that it could be supportive, easy food for those that were left in Japan after World War II. So noodles don't have to be horrible. Noodles can be
No,
very supportive.
no, I know my son, he keeps saying we're going to go to the Asian market. He goes, let's go over there because they have everything is, I mean, he brings home stuff that I'm like, wow, this doesn't have any of the, unfortunately, it has Americanized, so.
That's one that's kind of exciting because with the changeover of the admin, a lot of this hype that's been around the changeover and the fight that happened, um, the Kennedy fellow, he brought to awareness more and more people going, hey, how come we have to have all this junk in our food, but if we look at the same company in a different country, they don't have the same level of junk in their food. That's not okay. I'm really glad that he brought forward that awareness that people are like, hey, wait a minute, you're right. Why do we have to have this in our food? They don't have that in their food. So I'm glad that that came forward, because I think, and there again, we're speaking to going into, like you're saying, the Aquarian age, where we want to learn to do more
Mhm.
about our sovereignty. We need to stand up and look at our food and go, I'm not eating that. That's disgusting.
I've
You
been like
fix
that for years, years. I'm not eating that. That's disgusting. I just go down into it deeper, and I'm like, how in the world is this legal in America, but the same place in in Canada, you can't give
doesn't
them the food we eat. You can't give it to Europe. You can't give it, and it's just like they banned like all these chemicals, all these dyes, and I
Yeah,
just
and
it's really
it's
hard
like
to
what's
eat.
going on with, Bora Bora. I've been a vegetarian. She says the foods don't agree with me, and that's just it. It's finding out what agrees with you, what doesn't. And like Hypnicity's saying, he's bringing attention to the small farmers. The
Mhm,
small farmers ethically raise their animals.
mhm.
The nice
That's
thing
right.
about the animals is, as long as they've been raised and they're happy, they don't have this really protracted idea of time. So as long as they have been raised quality and they have a nice easy passover, that's really good quality meat. I hate to say it, but
Yeah, I got
humans
to the point where I
are so
see. I got
meats
to the
are
point where I could go into the grocery store and
you can feel it.
literally feel and smell the fear in the meat. And
Mhm.
I was just like, man, I just
Well,
can't
that's
eat
also
this.
what some of the different, you'll see different religions around the world, and that's what the praying over their food was for,
Sure.
because they
Hmm.
recognize that you need to go ahead and cleanse with energetically your food before you eat it, so that it's more in alignment with your own energy system as you're ingesting it.
I always say I bless everything I ingest. I'll say that all throughout the day. Bless everything I ingest. I boil my water. I mean, I've gotten to be like I'm bizarre about things because it's just you can have those water tests for your area, and
Hmm.
once you see what you see what's in your water, you're like, oh my god,
Yeah, you
uh,
have to be careful, like I said, because otherwise you can go the other way, where you can't eat or drink anything. It's ridiculous.
I'm about there. I'm about there. I'm like, oh my god, but I'm gonna have turkey tomorrow, and I know it's was farm raised, so that's and I love who doesn't love mashed potatoes? I mean, please
Yeah.
give me mashed potatoes, and I could just sit in mashed potatoes and just be as happy as forever. But I mean, so that's going on. I mean, that isn't even part of the holidays. Well, and obviously it is. Here we are bringing up the ingredients and how things are made and how things
Very much part of
they
the
affect
holiday.
us, right?
Yeah. Especially
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving, because the whole point of the holiday was gathering around the fire and sharing the bounty. You're having a really big bumper meal, big feast, because right now everybody's been putting away the harvests for
The
this year's harvest.
harvest, yeah,
You just
yeah.
finished the harvest, and let me tell you, usually if you're in harvest season in one of the farming communities, you're working 16, 18-hour days to bring everything in, get it rendered, get it put up, get it dried, get it frozen, get it processed, canned, however it is, to be able to store it for the winter months. But yeah,
Mhm.
it's a great time to bring in the tribe and to bring in your family. And as I said before, this is usually in the wintertime, where we have bonfires and the stories get handed down from the ancestors. This is where our traditions get handed down to the younger generations. That's where a lot of the storytelling comes in, because back then they didn't have TVs. So this was how their oral traditions were passed on from one generation to
Mhm. Absolutely. And I like Teresa Ford, even when she was vegan, she didn't like fake meat and tofu. I tried the cheese, I tried the meat. I just can't.
I
Doesn't.
tried
And then
tofu. Nope.
yeah, and then when you read the ingredients, you're like, well, this is all chemicals. It's chemically based food. So I'm not trying. Believe me, I know it's difficult. I'm not trying to knock anybody's
And that's that,
food
everybody's
or
body
anything.
is quite different. So if one
Yeah.
person enjoys it, you can have mine. I'm quite happy to hand over my tofu. You can have my part.
Yeah, mine. Man, I tell you, it is not easy. I don't know. My son, my youngest son, like I make him dinner every night, and he knows I only eat certain things. So I eat a lot of seafood. That and and I try not to buy farm raised seafood. I mean, it's just like everything you have to. It, there's a butcher around here he wants to go to, but you can buy grass fed beef in my store because I
I
won't
love
eat. I can't eat
beef.
chicken. Yeah, I can't. I can't eat like just chicken. Just no, no.
Well, a lot of it depends on how the chicken's been raised, like I said, and what they've been finished at. And if need be, you can always do some version of a prayer over your food in order to bring the elevation up, bring up the
I
vibration.
can't. Well, the only thing they have over there grass fed is or um, the beef. They don't have any other meat. So the
For
seafood I get out of
Yeah,
that's
you have to look a bit, but look for the pastured pork, even if that's something that you're interested in. And there are pasture eggs. There are plenty of farms that do more conscious raising of the chickens. They've got them out more on the grass and the pasture situations. You
yeah.
can find it. It's just a
I
matter
know.
of
There's probably a lot of places around me. I just haven't gone and explored. He and I are going to though.
we have been so driven that with the you got to raise the kids, got to work 2, 3 jobs. We've been so driven, and of course, the food industry in America, right after World War II, they really came up into the forefront and said, "Hey, we'll help you out," because they had been delivering for well over 5 years all of those groceries in packaged forms to the troops that were fighting. And
Hmm.
they really had a really slick system. They're like, hey, we know how to deliver this stuff in bulk. We've been doing this for years now. Let us do this and bring it to your home. Well, that was great then. But, we had a lot of trust built into that generationally. And now we're finding that they've been cutting corners or they've been doing shenanigans with our food system that is not okay. So now we're having to go back through and say, no, that's not really for me. I really don't feel like it. I'm going to be a little pickier. And some of us, were raised, you better eat whatever's on your plate from whatever, previous trauma. Like mine, I get the whole generational thing of, great grandparents came through the Depression, growing up, didn't have enough
Hmm.
to eat, you've got to clean your plate. And now that I'm old enough to be picky, it's one of those deals where you kind of have to collapse the shadows of the old, what's been passed down ancestrally. But it's like, no, that's not serving me at the moment.
Yeah, see, I agree with Hypnotist. If we stop buying it, and I refuse. I
Exactly.
stay on the outer aisles. I mean, the only time I even go in an inner aisle is to get coffee.
I'll
That's
give
where.
you a really good, for instance, as far as this junk GMO. When I lived out here in the 90s and Tillamook had, that was when the FDA decided in their infinite stupidity that it was okay to give cattle, to give the dairy cows hormone shots because they wanted more production. And I'm here to tell you that all of us women and all of us girls, when they give this stuff to the cows, it comes through. I don't care what the FDA says. It comes through the milk, and it does affect the females
All of
badly.
it, yeah, all of it,
And
and
so,
how they are.
and that was exactly it. The customers, we voted with our feet because after a while, it's like, fine, I can't drink your milk. If you're going to put that junk in there, I can't drink it. And we didn't. And all of a sudden, the Tillamook Dairy went, ooh, we got a whole bunch of milk now that we can't use. And so they started to stamp it, the dairies out here. It wasn't just Tillamook. All of the dairies were doing it because, of course, the FDA said it was safe. And there again, we're learning our sovereignty. We're learning, hey, that's not okay. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. And so as a community, we stood up and said, as a consumer, I'm not going to do that. And so what they did was they removed the hormone from their cattle. They continue to this day that they have to stamp it that the FDA still says it's safe, and it's not. I don't care what they say,
No,
but
and that's
it,
the
it
bigger,
is
but that's
removed from the food.
and isn't that the bigger thing here? Is that not only is the FDA, or the
Yeah,
USDA,
it's
every
practice.
single every single uh, agency that's supposed to watch out for our health, we are finding has not. We're finding
Correct.
that there's two justice systems. We're
Because the system,
finding that there's all kinds of things that are not in alignment with
right. And
um,
that's part of this, that's
living
part
a
of this going into
free,
the Aquarian age. Yep.
yeah,
Now we're
living,
speeding up.
yeah, exactly. I was just going to get to, because we're not living in, we're realizing we've been duped across the board. And this is where the Aquarian age is going to come in and say, we're already talking about it. We've been
Yeah,
talking about it, right? And we're like, what can I eat? What is even food? What's considered food? Why do they
right,
treat the
right,
animals so bad? I mean, it's
right.
brutal what they do to them. Um, I just, I
Yeah,
really can feel it. And I think that I'm not the only one. I think we can all feel, our intuition tells us whether we're about to eat something, whether it's for us or not, you know, we
mhm,
know, our bodies know.
sure.
Uh, it's, hi, Janet DC. Hi, Karen. Karen's here, Karen Robinson. Where'd they go? Somebody. And so here we are. We're going to have to see. Yeah, see, I had to do the TV dinner thing forever. I thought I was doing good. I was 10 in charge, 10 and 11 for
Yep.
feeding my brothers, so it was
Hey,
definitely
peanut butter and jelly
crazy.
sandwiches. That was my wall to wall go to
Oh
whenever I
yeah.
was growing
Oh
up.
yeah, peanut butter jelly sandwiches. And now you go and look at the peanut butter. Oh my God, you can't even give the peanut butter to your dogs now.
Yeah, because the corn stuff, it's ridiculous. And again, when we were
Mhm.
growing up, we didn't have that corn junk in. There was this stuff, high fructose corn syrup. Get that back out of
Thank
there. We don't
you.
need that. Did you know that's
Thank you.
classed as a biohazard? My uncle was actually driving high fructose corn syrup, and he had to drive around a city. He called my mom, and he's telling her, and he was laughing. He said, "I'm carrying a biohazard," and she said, "What in the world? What are you hauling?" Because she's thinking in terms of like radioactivity or something. And he laughed. He said, "No, it's high fructose corn syrup. It's classed as a biohazard." Well,
It
if it's a
is.
biohazard, why is that in our food industry?
It's in everything too. It's in all processed food. I'm sorry, Janet. Yeah, I can't. I have a brother who's, I don't
Both sides of
know.
the aisle. And, there again, it's the 2D entities that created that nonsense in order for us to feed them. Because think about it. They're parasites. The 2D entities have been siphoning off our energy for forever. And so they created the politic game in order to, and it didn't matter which side won. Half of it was going to be happy people that they won, my side won, either one. And then
Mhm.
half of their glut was going to be taken away. So yeah, they're still going at it from different angles. Half of you people are now happy, and the parasites can't feed off of happy energy. They can't feed off of joy and peace and love. They have to feed off of hate, division, fear.
Mhm.
These are things that they eat. So they just
Mhm.
change the story.
And see, that's a, well, we got so many changes coming in. We're gonna see. I'll say February, March, how things are going. Until then, let's all just, this is the time of year that we go inside. If anyone's irritating you on any level, stay out of it, stay away from it, stay away. Your peace and serenity
Mhm.
and your self-care and self-nurturing is the most important thing going for the rest of the year until
Yeah,
even, I don't know,
that was
February.
that was why I released that Stop the Stress for the holidays. That is exactly the support. Go ahead and play it, because there are two soundtracks that I have. There's two different energies that are running. One will be the meridian clearing. The other one will be to harmonize the relationships, and it gets rid of the jagged
Yeah,
edges as far as that goes, and that helps to bring your energy back up so that you can stay calm.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
all
it
about. and calm.
It is, and it is planning and work, and it's the same thing as, I've got a lot of relatives that have different health challenges, and they've had to go back to doing all of their cooking from scratch. And so a lot of times what they'll do is they'll big batch something over the weekend and then freeze convenience portions so that they can just grab and go during the week, whenever they're busy or they're exhausted or something. But it is planning. I'll grant you that it's a huge lack of convenience, because most of us have been raised on the whole grab and go thing. But there again, you have to question, why am I in such a stinking hurry? Why is the society pushing me so much? Why do I gotta dash to work? Why do I gotta dash to school? Why do I have to, why can't I take my time and breathe a little bit and enjoy?
Right.
Why can't I savor my food? Why have I got to just stuff something in my face and go? That's not,
Exactly.
that's not, and that's not even thinking. You're being shoved and pulled up and out of your body. You have disconnect that happens that way.
All the time. Hi, Gino. Hi, Gina TC. Karen, who haven't said hi to. Yeah, see, I'm the same way, Janet. I make everything from scratch. I tried to cheat on the whipped cream because I thought they were telling me there was no problems with it, no chemicals, and then I rush around and grab it, and it's nasty and it's full of chemicals. So I had to learn again. The marketing is pretty damn on point. They're pretty good at what they do, right? So and being being I can only eat like a short list of things that I love fruit. Fruit is probably one of my go-tos, but cheese, I've been breaking away from cheese. It's hard. It's all hard. It's like, why? But I'm looking for better alternatives. Like all the fake cheese in the stores isn't any good, but it's the same as going to find grass-fed beef or honey that is from a farm, because I do a lot
If you're
of
going to do the honey thing, if anybody's interested in honey, especially the amazing benefits that honey has, insist that your honey is cold slung only. If it has been pasteurized, they have destroyed your honey. Okay.
See?
Yep. That's because, and what's scary with the sugar is, to begin with, sugar is used whenever they're trying to improve the flavor of subpar foods. Gives you that dopamine rush. But the other difficulty that I find is that I would prefer to have sugar over high fructose corn syrup.
Absolutely. If it's sugar, it's real, real now, but they have 50 names for sugar additive. That's usually a
variation of
what you were talking about earlier, high fructose corn syrup. It's just given different names now. Organic honey. You have to cheese. You got to really watch on the cheese because
a lot of people have an inflammation. Some of it is that the cheese itself is not made correctly. The other problem that they have is sometimes whenever you're eating like a proper American diet, your body is actually trying to overcome a lot of different inflammatory foods, and so it's kind of like the straw that broke. Was it the straw that breaks the camel's back? Sometimes whenever you're doing an exclusion diet, you can clean up your own body. And so cheese sometimes is one of those dairy will be an inflammatory food. And so not so much never can you have it, but you might want to sit it out just for a little bit, just to allow your body to have a break to clean itself up.
And it we were just saying about the antibiotics they put into the cows. I don't want you can buy this milk that doesn't have certain antibiotics in it. I don't drink milk, so I don't use it. But cheese I love, but I need to find some really good cheeses. Everything I've tried that's supposedly in the upper scale market
is the meat happy? Is the meat not? It's the same thing with me. I can sense whenever I'm in the dairy aisle or I'm having the milk or whatever, I can tell if that cow was happy whenever they were milked or not.
Absolutely. I just don't trust them. because we've caught them in so many, the EP, not EP, USDA, or is that who's doing the food?
The FDA, you'll see it on the side of the
FDA,
any
FDA.
of the containers where it's okay to have hormone. However, you'll find that most of the consumers have already voted, and they will be stamped on there that they don't have it in there.
Yes, coffee. Coffee
Sure.
is out.
That's
Yeah.
like Karen Doyle saying,
Should
I
limit dairy of any kind.
know
Yeah.
when I eat sugar. And the reason why is because bacteria actually, the colds and the illnesses, they flourish because sugar is a very simple energy source. Very easy for them to multiply. And so you could be having the colds bacteria or virus in the back of your throat. And then whenever you consume the sugar, it will multiply much faster than your body can overcome it. And so you'll come down with symptoms of the flu or the symptoms of the colds.
It's just nuts. It's nuts that we have to be the food detectives just to eat, but here we are.
That's good. Our bodies, we have to learn to be gatekeepers for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Organic
I like
And also,
like
Karen, you can also look for the cheeses that weren't made here, or if you're looking for American cheeses, look for the small dairy farms. Look for the ones where they are farmer crafted. Yeah, bladder gets. For entertainment purposes only, if your bladder has struggles with sugar, D-mannose is something that you can use for that. And it will help clear urinary tract infections.
I love that, Janet D. That's what I do. I only go for what is. I don't take any pharmaceuticals. I don't mess around with nothing anymore because I was so sick. This is how I found out why I was so sick, why I could barely move. And until I started to change those things to take them out of take everything out, and see what was left there, see what was going on. Did I understand how affected my body was? And it's my and this is what happens with autoimmune diseases. Your body is attacking itself,
right? Because it's so overwhelmed,
right? So that
everything's the bad guy.
Yeah, all of that crap.
Yeah, it's D. It's D. D is in dog, and then a dash, and then mannose is MANNOSE. And what it does, the D-mannose, is what it's going to do is in your urinary tract and inside the little itty bitty cracks and crevices of the kidneys. Exactly, Juno's got it. Mm-hmm. What it does is it coats the bacteria. It makes it mechanically slick, so it cannot grasp onto the interior lining. And this is really important for the females, but it cannot grasp onto the interior lining of your kidneys or onto your urinary tract at all. And so what happens is you take your D-mannose, get a decent drink of water, don't have anything or anybody in between you and the bathroom, because within 15 minutes you're going to need to pee. But what's happened is you're peeing out the bacteria that caused that. The reason that it's important is because D-mannose will not impact your blood glucose or your blood sugar. Exactly. But what it does is it will coat the outside of that. It's the good thing in cranberries. Although I'm here to tell you, I have drank enough cranberry juice in my life. It will rot your stomach before you can get to the same level that you can with the D-mannose.
And are you buying the organic cranberry juice? Because once you have organic cranberry juice and it has no sugar in it, that's a whole nother level. You're like, oh my God, I can't even take a sip. Yeah, I went to organic at the health food store and did that. Yeah. Oh man. And
I did that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you have an active urinary tract infection, the D-mannose is a godsend. Take 4 to 5 capsules of it daily, multiple times a day. Basically, it's not going to impact any of your blood sugar at all, because what happens is it goes straight from the stomach lining into the bloodstream, goes through the bloodstream, straight to the bacteria that are in your kidneys, coats the bad bacteria, and slips it out of your body. The nice thing about it is you are not relying on an antibiotic, because I've lived it with kidney stones and kidney infections. Not even bladder infections. These are kidney infections. Most of your bacteria, they've reached a point where the antibiotics don't kill everything. And the other problem is that it is easy to have leftovers then that are reinfecting. The Diment will help to clear that out. So after you are over the acute stage of it, then you can back off and maybe just take 1 or 2 of the capsules every day just to keep your urinary tract going. And this is, like I said, this is really important for the ladies, especially because the way we're built, we have a shorter urethra. So it's easier for the bacteria to get tracked back up inside you.
And then that also works for Lyme disease. I know my son's girlfriend, she has to take that because she has she can't eat certain proteins, certain meats and things, and that
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. My friend had one of those. Yeah, it was from a tick bite disease, and suddenly you couldn't work. And there was another one. It was similar to that first one, and you couldn't eat beef or pork.
So that's what she had. She can't eat any meat without having something to support her proteins in her body. I don't know how it all works, but man, I tell you, I did learn a lot from Dr. Google too, Karen. I swear, I had to figure it all out on my own the last 20 years, especially why, because if I'd have listened to the doctors and kept taking their pharmaceuticals, I wouldn't have walked. I wouldn't be walking. I wouldn't. They're just like, you're just going to have to stay like that. And I was like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. And suddenly you're going to have to deal with that for the rest of your life. Please, if it was you, you wouldn't have even made it out of the office without hanging off of somebody's lower lip. Perfect.
That's it. I was like, no, we're not doing this anymore. So now when I go in there, they want to know why I haven't done this and that. And so this year I went for the mammogram. But I'm like, I didn't see the need for a colonoscopy every year. To me, that just seems like counterproductive. Sticking something, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
There again, I think if it's something that somebody has in their family and they feel happier doing it, go for it. You are the highest authority on you. If we are suggesting something that does not work with your body, never force it. Look for something else that works with your body. Everybody recognizes that we are not cookie cutter.
Yeah, we're all different, right? And we can all tolerate. Right, and our bodies tolerate what they can tolerate. I tried hard to go vegan a couple of times throughout my life because I didn't know I at the time that I could feel the animals in the grocery store. But
you didn't understand what was going on.
Once I figured that out, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't participate in that, And that is I tried, but I was getting sicker from not having protein in my body. Even though I was trying to try other veggie proteins, they weren't working.
Right. I'm seeing over here, Janet DC, concerned about your kitty cat. Usually the boys will have a little bit of that struggle. And there is a specific diet that the vets have for the boys. But my old boy, I went ahead and I could take the Diment and sprinkle it over his wet food. And I did that about once a day just to keep everything going nice and easy for him. Survivor. Yep. And it didn't work. And that's just it. Some people it will work for. Other people it will not work for. And it's what I was warning people about as we go from carbon-based body systems into a crystalline-based. What you might have eaten when you were younger, your body may need something quite different as you get older. You may find that you need more healthy fats, real fat, like beef tallow in your diet versus God help us all, margarine that we used to eat when we were younger, which is...
I never did that. I was like, this stuff doesn't know. am a butter fiend, and now I buy only organic butter, and it's expensive, but that's all I'm going to put because it's the same cows, right? Getting the same antibiotics, So I just can't. I can't. I'm just it grosses me out. I get really easily grossed out,
Sure.
and I could go days without eating once I get hit with
Oh,
something like
chocolate,
that.
chocolate, chocolate. Sal, I'm seeing this. Yes. Yes. I
But
do love me some chocolate. That's
I
usually
do
a magnesium
too.
craving if you're doing like a carnivore or an Atkins keto type diet. You will end up with a huge magnesium craving that will show up as an I need coffee, I need chocolate.
I take a lot of magnesium, but I only buy, and that's another thing. The most of
Yep.
chocolate, like Nestle's, okay, they're just
Oh,
terrible.
that's disgusting. No, we're
Yeah,
talking like European chocolate. If you,
yeah,
ladies, if
not
you want
good
to get
chocolate.
the good stuff. What was the one? Green and blacks. Have you seen them? I think they are in, let me think, Whole Foods. Whole Foods has it, but it's called Green and Blacks. It's an organic chocolate. They come in all kinds of different
Oh,
flavors. Even if you are on a no sugar type person, they have a variety that is a black chocolate that is just the chocolate. It's a little bitter, yes, but it is so good. And let me tell you, one of those bars lasts forever.
it's true, ethnicity. One way or another, we're paying for it. And it is a food group, Sal. Chocolate is the, I'm gonna try to make these chocolate brownies today with real cacao and all this stuff. I don't know. I'm gonna be having experiments in my kitchen today. Like I said, I'm not a baker, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, Janet's got it. Yeah, Green and Blacks. It's from the
Mm,
UK, but we've got it
mm.
over here now. I've seen it. I'm positive I've seen it in not Trader Joe's, although they might have it now, but definitely Whole Foods. And it's worth the hunt. Trust me, it is good stuff. It
Me
is
too.
awesome.
Yeah, I
Chocolate.
see. A
Chocolate.
good chocolate, there's nothing like it.
Karen, yeah, Karen, Janet DC just above it, Green and Blacks. That's the name of it,
Mhm.
Green and Blacks up above. And they are
Yes,
from the UK. And oh my word, oh they got so many different flavors. Now I'm wanting a Green and Blacks.
I gotta go find it. I gotta go find it. See,
They've got so
I
many
need
different flavors, and they've got things like there was an orange variety, orange chocolate. But I mean, they've got real
to.
dried orange peels in that.
Oh, see, that's that. I love that orange chocolate with orange
Yeah.
peels. Oh my gosh.
They've got like an orange. They've got orange chocolate. There's a raspberry chocolate. Like I said, if you're needing to stay away from the sugar, they do have one that's just pure chocolate, pure dark chocolate. That's really
Mm,
high. Lint's is amazing too, but it depends on where you're getting lint from because you do need to look on the label
right
and
here. Yeah.
make sure that it's being not manufactured. That's just it because, like Bobby Kennedy said, you know, we can get stuff that's out of Europe that is built differently than what we have. Oh, Karen, it's not just it doesn't not all of them. I mean, like I was saying, they have a huge variety of different flavors. So if you can't have the citrus, they've got different ones. They have different flavors. They have a peppermint mint that is just wow, really good.
I love peppermint mint.
Really, really good.
Oh, I love you, dog. I'm glad you like pork. How are you?
Pork is good.
Yeah.
Meat
Well, I
dog.
don't eat it anymore. I
I have
can't.
a bacon.
A friend of mine, Rusty.
Scotland. A rusty
Oh,
chocolate.
yeah.
Oh, wow, 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 wow. They have one over in
Mm.
Scotland that's called Tunnocks. And all I can think is, thank heavens that it's over in Scotland and it's not available here because I'd probably only be eating Tunnocks for the rest of my life.
Yeah, now I'm going to be on a chocolate, a good chocolate ex, exploration here. I have to get my son to take me out there looking for stuff. I am not into driving around here still. I don't know. Hopefully
Well,
that'll pass.
Anybody
Not
that's
sure.
driving, please be careful. Yeah, Hypnicity saying there is an international aisle at the U.S. grocery stores. There is. Bulk foods or health food stores will also carry them from Europe or Canada. Again, you're going to have to look at the labels because sometimes what
Yeah.
happens is they'll say or they'll have it in that aisle, but some of the bigger chocolate companies or some of the bigger companies, they'll actually have multiple locations. And so even though it's their label, they may have actually made it over here in the US and they have actually slipped things in there that they normally wouldn't have over in the European market.
Hmm. Yeah, I think my son bought those. My oldest son, those peanut butter cups from Sprouts, and he turned me on to a couple of those like a couple weeks ago. Oh my gosh, they were good. They were really good. Now see, and see if your body that makes your body just like everything in my body just lights up, right, and smiles like everybody here. Is chocolate bad for us? I don't know. I don't know. My body seems to say no. But you
Well,
know,
a
you
lot of
put
it
eggs in
depends.
front of her. It's like,
Yeah, a lot of it just depends. Um, like I said, if you're trying to avoid the sugar, the green and blacks, they definitely do have the dark chocolate, but like Sal's saying, it's a little bitter. And there again, if you're just needing magnesium and you're suddenly struggling with it, you can. I've discovered you can put Epsom salts in your shoes because I've been doing the trick where you're walking on Himalayan rock salt, and
mm,
I got woke up probably about 2 months ago from a foot cramp that I don't normally get, but I put the extra Epsom salts in my shoes, and the nice thing about that is sometimes magnesium can upset your stomach. And if you are absorbing it just through your feet, then there is no digestive upset.
and there's the magnesium spray. I have that too that you
Oh,
can do on
yeah.
your feet if you can't ingest it. I wouldn't buy magnesium unless it was malate or glycinate because the
Mhm.
other ones will really mess with your stomach.
Yes.
And that, you know, everything I say here is because I experimented on myself. So
Mhm.
this is just happening for my body. You know,
No,
I
I did use,
definitely tried.
yeah, I've used the magnesium spray. It feels like an oil. But the
Yeah, I
only
don't like.
downside that I had with it was that it dried my skin out too badly. You know, it's, even though they call it magnesium oil, it is a spray and it is, it's a salt. It's a magnesium salt that you can use directly on your skin, and it does absorb in. But you are going to need to wash that off, and like I said, I found it to be really, really drying. And so, with the Epsom salts in your shoes, if you put it in between your shoes and your socks, the skin on your feet, on the soles of your feet, will absorb it, and you. To begin with, I had foot cramps, so it was beneficial that way. But
Mm,
it helps to get the Epsom salts and the magnesium in without doing damage to the tummy. And
yeah,
yes, you need to be careful with the sugar-free stuff. There is
yeah,
a thing out there. I would much rather see you take real sugar, try to avoid high fructose corn syrup, but
yeah,
you really don't want to have anything like aspartame. That
yeah.
is really dangerous. I would much rather see you consume a smaller amount of sugar than to actually go into that. And yeah, fat free and sugar free are huge red flags.
Mm, they really are. I mean, it's just, it's all been marketing, and it's
It's
so sad, you know.
uh, yeah, because of the way that it's been marketed, and it's not healthy for you.
Mm-mm,
But that's
no,
part of our evolution. That's part of our learning to stand in our own power, for
right.
sure.
Like, how did we lose, like, our, I mean, and this is something I say throughout the day. I bless the water, bless the soil, bless the air, I bless every molecule on Mother Earth because everything that we ingest doesn't have the nutrients in it like it used to,
Mhm.
and they've sprayed everything with what's that Roundup crap. You know, they do what they do to animals. There's just so much to it that it's. we do. I mean, as a nation, we have to change how
Well,
how.
and we've got a whole bevy of people. Look at the Amish, look at the Mennonites, look at the rural farmers. They all know how to grow their animals without needing antibiotics. It's called husbandry. They know how to grow.
Mhm.
And so still a huge knowledge base that's located here. And so it's just a matter of waking up and going, hey, my health is more important. And so we'll just hop in there and start looking at it and check over your diet and everything. And like I said, don't kick yourself too much right now for the holidays. That's most of why I created that Stop the Stress holiday soundtrack. Again,
Mhm.
if you're dipping into food that you normally don't have because you know you're going to enjoy it no matter what, play that in the background, because what I did was the energy healing is in there for the universal. So that's actually going to be for your pets as well as for all of your family members. And it will help to clean and clear the inflammation by cleaning and clearing your energy system as well.
There's
Yum.
something. There's something they put in, like a lot of I can't remember now seeing it. Old turkey broth. I will eat broth and noodles. Like that's my thing. That's why I need better noodles, but I haven't found any yet. Still work.
That's funny. You're slumming
And my
it.
kids think I'm nuts. I'm like, I am so happy with just noodles and broth. And they're like, you have to eat food. And I'm like, I do. I eat with you every night. My youngest son just can't understand. His boy loves to eat. He wake up and he's hungry. And I'm like, I've never been like that. I could never eat as soon as I woke up. I was always real weird
When I
about
was
food.
younger, I used to. I was starving by the time I woke up. But then, we had,
Really?
yeah,
I
but we
never
had
felt like
supper.
that.
Supper was at 5. I managed to get like a piece of cheese before bedtime and be in bed by 8. But I was constantly running my weight off whenever I was a kid. So
Uh,
in the morning, whenever I woke up, I had to have food.
Really? See, that's how my youngest is. I was never like that. My mom would try to force food on me in the morning, and I would just be so nauseous. My
Mm.
brothers would eat. I'm just a weird eater, but everybody has their thing, and
Everybody has their
monk
time.
food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love monk fruit. Monk fruit's amazing. Monk fruit
Hmm.
is one of those. It can be used as a sugar replacer, but it is also a chi builder. It's an energy builder. That's why they call it monk fruit, because
Really?
the monks use it over in China. I'll give you one caveat though with the monk fruit. A little goes a long way, as in one drop of liquid monk fruit will flavor your entire cup of coffee. Don't overdo it, because otherwise you
Yeah.
end up throwing out your coffee, because I did. So it's just way too sticky sweet.
I know, and you can look at like the Amish. They're not overweight. I mean, if you think back to the 70s, guys, 70s, 80s, nobody was overweight. Very, very few people. I see
Because it
pictures
was
of
Yeah,
people
because
on beaches,
high
and
fructose
nobody's
their
overweight.
high fructose corn syrup was invented at the end of the 70s. And we didn't actually start to have high
Yeah,
fructose corn syrup enter our food system until the 80s. And then all of a sudden we started having problems, because then it
yeah,
started appearing up in things like wheat thins or crackers. I mean, come on.
yeah.
Why would my crackers need a sugar like that? That's ridiculous.
I don't know,
And
but I
no,
can't even eat crackers
I'm not
anymore.
holding I'm not holding the Amish up as perfect. They are not all perfect, obviously. But what I'm saying is they still do know how to get into the fields. They do know how to create and raise food from the ground up, from the soils up. And obviously they have access to, and they do sell bulk foods that are just as full of high fructose corn syrup, because they have a a purchase point place that they used out of Ohio, if I remember correctly, for their bulk foods. And so it's very much a bulk food distribution system that you'll see in their stuff for sale. But if you start looking, they will go ahead and have uh, either jars of their own stuff, their own produce, or similar things on the roadside as well that they've created from their own farms. I've never seen an Epsom
Yeah, they're
salt. That would be so cool.
well, yeah, they're called float tanks here. They call them
Yeah.
float tanks, and they have them. You could go out there. There's so many, and that's what I did. I did everything I could where what was in what I could afford. I did
Right.
chirotherapy. That chirotherapy is no joke. You got to go in there, and it goes down to the 278 degrees below zero, and you can only be in there for 30 seconds. But that, I was just like trying anything. I hurt so bad I couldn't move, and that and chiropractors, things like that. But any alternatives,
That's like this. The
I
almonds
would
use
try.
lard.
Energy,
Yeah, they're actually
work.
discovering that the lard is more beneficial, especially for older females. If you look up Dr. Elizabeth Bright in YouTube, you're going to find that she's
Yeah.
actually helping a lot of women with thyroid issues. She says 2 drops of iodine a day, and she's focusing on healthy fat. And lard would be one of them. Beef tallow is another. Butter is another. Because as women, we need to have the building blocks in order to have our hormones created, especially as we get older. And our society has screamed and yelled at us low fat since the 70s, and I don't think that was helpful. I really don't.
No, that was damn. Because look, as we got sicker, the industrial medical industry became, look at it, just a huge conglomerate, and again only owned by 6 corporations, just like the media, just like everything else. And they said that there wouldn't be any what did they call those, monopolies. Now there's monopolies everywhere. So, I mean, we do have a lot of work to do to rebuild America, right? We got to rebuild. Well, the whole world is being rebuilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to build permaculture community with 100 acres too, Hypnicity. I love being in a garden. Love it. But yeah, there's any alternative energy healer. That's why you're here. I have, you're one of these people who help us get through.
Yeah.
Now the electronic connection is.
A lot of people don't even know that we have an energy system around us because we haven't been taught that. We have a chakra system. We have these rivers of energy that flow in and around our body. That's going to be the meridian system. So, and it's like what Hypnicity's saying. I'm addicted to my electronics. Absolutely. But there's items like Q-Link or I think Life Designs is another one that creates them, where you can place these items on your cell phones or your electronics to help combat that. Lard and tallow are absolutely healthier. They're finding that the seed oils are highly inflammatory.
Yeah, see, I can't put nothing with seed oils, nothing. I only use olive oil. And then you got to be very careful, and it's in a glass bottle, and it has one source.
Yeah, it has to be dark.
Yeah. Has to be dark. And I'll use avocado like oil too, but that's for the things that I can't use olive oil in. But yeah, I'm real picky. Lard, I remember lard being very popular when I was young.
Grandma,
stuff like that.
Everybody used lard growing up. Everybody.
Yep. No, I can't do lard now. No.
Yeah.
Did you want to do a quick little energy thing before we go for everybody? How's everybody feeling to you? How are they feeling? How's the energies feeling to you?
It's feeling really good in here. Everybody feels pretty well balanced. I think everybody's been dipping in and listening to things. But yeah, everybody feels pretty well balanced today.
Mm-hmm. You really do. I mean, I don't feel any kind of. Hi, Emily Lorenz Bradley. Yeah. Nice to see you.
So sorry, but yeah, hop in and chat. We've been discussing food mostly.
Yeah, definitely, Lori. We're going to talk about this. We'll definitely get together next month before Christmas. and have another,
Free
see where
flowing.
we're at, right? So we're gonna see where we're at because everybody really does feel good in here. I mean, energy feels good. I can't say that I've been feeling. I keep going up and down, but I think we all are because there's so much going on energetically in the world. That
Yes, some of it is because a lot of it is people are needing to find their own feet and make choices. And, all of us do the same thing of it's not convenient. Oh my word. But I think we're needing to find our way, especially with our foods. And that is part of our sovereignty, finding out how we deal with this.
and that's
Oh,
one of the things, right, for the Aquarian age. Like whatever your pet peeve is, right, for in the world, focus on how you can be of. I'm trying to figure out ways to be of service. Like I always am with the animals, and I haven't gone to any um, no kill shelters because I usually volunteer. I haven't done that since I've been out here, but there's been so much going on this year that now I have a baby kitten. I forgot to tell you about the baby kitten. It's little Dot because Big Dot is a baby daddy. He just took over the daddy responsibilities. I mean, he's like her little mommy. He's so cute and he's huge. And she's this big and he's this big and they're both black and they're both, I can't see them. I look right at them and they both just kind of blend into everything. Hi, Annie Bear. Good to see you. Oh, dentist. Oh, I hope you're okay. Dentist before Thanksgiving. That's a hard one. Aw. Well, so did you want to do it a little balancing or do you think we're okay?
I've been working on whoever it was that said that she was having some stomach trouble from emotional upset. Again, I'm going to say if you go over to my channel, Debbie Diment, I posted it last night. There is an energy balancer that's called Stop the Stress for the holidays. And if you play that, that's definitely going to be helping with your energy system. And yeah, I can go ahead and do something really quick right now. So we'll start
Thank
off with an
you.
energy balancing. Yeah. Exactly. High fructose corn syrup. It's horrible. So here we go. Tihe ori ora mahaka wa tahi it ingwa tito irita o tupona. Wayu topic. It ingwa tefenui tarani ta wayu topic. It ingwa the fire tama to it tama. Wayu topic. Tihe ori ora. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do just a little bit of energy balancing because I've got some people that have trouble with around their heads. So with the people, if we could just lift your chins up so that your jaw is parallel to the ground, that usually means just lift your chin up just a little bit. Doesn't have to be too high. A lot of times that will help. It feels more like there is possibly some tight neck, but also some barometric changes. So you might be in areas where there is pressure changes happening because of weather systems that are coming through. I'm reaching out right now energetically and working on everybody's meridians. Right now I'm at the head and the base of the skull. So if you're sensitive to energy, you might feel me coming and going. So I'm just trying to move off some of the energy. We're going to move your bubble of space, your personal aura, a little bit further out. Sometimes these atmospheric pressure changes just cannot be helped. And if you're stuck in one of those, I commiserate with you because that's really one of the few things that really deeply affects me on a brain level. There we go. That feels much better. And we're just going to go down your spine right quick. I'm going to go ahead and do a bit of extra support because as I was laughing about earlier, we are possibly going to be dabbling with some extra foods today that we don't have on our diet. So I'm just going to support our digestive meridians right quick. So this is around your shoulders, shoulder blades, under your shoulder blades. Sometimes we can accidentally shove the stress of the weight of the world into our neck and underneath our shoulders. So let's just get that released off. down, down, down towards Mother Earth. Great. We're going to go down your back just a wee bit here. Those 3 channels open. So down your lower back, legs, around your knees, calves, ankles, and feet into Mother Earth. And then we're going to bring the Mother Earth energy back up the inner legs, inner knees, inner thighs, up your center line, which is your midline, up your tummy. Just a second. I want to work through everybody's tummies right quick. And then we will track it up into the chest and heart space. Go ahead and cough if you need. There's some stagnant energy in the lung area. Sometimes if you retain grief, it'll get trapped in your lungs. So go ahead and cough that out if you need it. Oh, and your beautiful throats. Sometimes we try to keep the peace and we don't speak what we really want. Other people can hear it and we're safe. And as light workers, sometimes we just need to hear that we're safe in the world. And obviously, our loved ones do want to hear us. If you're concerned that it might come out the wrong way, just ask for your highest good in the situation. That spirit will help to ease the pathway between your lips and their ear so that they can understand what you're trying to say without any kind of disharmony. And we're going to ground you into Mother Earth. Hang on a second, everybody. We've got the dolphins have actually asked me to do one more activation. They're just saying for harmony. So imagine yourself in Mother Earth. This is just an extra activation for harmonization. I'm hearing peace and love, family love. Okay. So if you'd like to receive this, just imagine yourself in Mother Earth. And be open to receive. Beautiful. Ground into Mother Earth and come back into your body when you're ready. Sorry, dolphins laughing again. Wonderful.
I love it. That felt really good. How's everybody feeling? That's nice.
Yay.
Wow. Well, everyone, have an excellent Thanksgiving, and we will come and be here before somewhere around Christmas.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Oh, and if anybody's interested, tomorrow I am doing my live chat tomorrow morning for Thanksgiving in the morning. So in case if anybody's lonely or you just need some extra help or energy balancing, I'm just simply going to be hanging out there for about an hour tomorrow on my channel with a live chat. So I just wanted to keep the space open in case anybody needed an extra hug or, if you're just really needing help, then that's what that's for.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's really nice of you to be on Thanksgiving Day. That's cool. Thank you.
Oh, and that'll be 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time because I recognize that people are going to be busy with their, with their worlds and with their cooking and everything. So, yeah.
Hi, Linda Kennedy. She has the burden of an happy Thanksgiving to you and all of our blessings. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you, everybody. We love you. Be safe. Enjoy. Relax. Remember about that self-nurturing and self-care. Take care of yourself. We'll see you next month. Bye, guys.